The Canadiens are in the Stanley Cup final, and they've had to go through the first 2 games of this series without their interim head coach. You got to remember, this is a team that started with Claude Julien at the beginning of the year, and then Dominic Ducharme took over, and then Dominic Ducharme ended up in COVID protocol after testing positive for COVID, and now Luke Richardson is the man behind the bench. I've noticed a lot of people have been impressed with his demeanor and how he's held up himself. And hey, he was the guy who was behind the bench when the Canadiens won against the Golden Knights, and he gets to see the team through to the Stanley Cup final. What have been your impressions of Luke Richardson behind the bench for the Montreal Canadiens to this point?
Well, I'm quite sure that Luke didn't expect something like this to play out for him getting an opportunity to be the head guy. But, that being said, he's taken on a role with a lot of pressure on him to move into that position, and obviously is judged on results. But the guys like him, they respect him. His way he handles himself is calming. He doesn't seem to panic, and they're organized and they're going through the wall for him. And what more can you ask for? The players are doing everything they can do to help him, and they're responding in such a great way. I'm really, really happy for him because he's deserving of it, and hopefully he'll get the results that he's looking for. But hats off to him stepping in there, showing the composure, showing the organization, and obviously respect is earned, and he's earned that.
It's funny that you mentioned that he's under tons of pressure, but you would have no idea just seeing the way he's been conducting himself. He's super cool. He does not let that get to him. And that transition to the way he deals with the players as well. He's able to control the situation and not let the situation get too big, or don't have the players overthink things. He's been keeping it as simple as possible. And that's something that you needed to do in a scenario like this. At this point in the playoffs, not having your head coach available, having the assistant take over, and he's done a really good job. And it's, like you said, he has the respect of the players and they want to do well for him. And I think that gives some extra motivation. The only downside is that potentially he might not be behind the Habs bench next year because he might be hired as a head coach somewhere else. And I think he's really, if not before, making a good case for himself to be considered for a head coaching job in the NHL. He's done it in the AHL before, so he does have that experience. But there's some teams that, they're going to make a coaching change. I'm sure his name will cross their list.
Yep, cool hand Luke. I mean, cool and calm behind the bench. The defenseman loved that about him before he got put into this new role. The way he's handled himself in Zoom conferences with the media, calm, cool, well-spoken, obviously a very smart guy. The players like him. Ben Sherratt said we'd skate through a wall for him. I think he will be a head coach in the future. It won't be in Montreal with the language issue here. Excuse me, but I'm surprised Ottawa let him go. He was assistant coach in Ottawa, and then he became the head coach of their AHL farm team. And then when Ottawa brought in Guy Boucher as a head coach, I think Richardson was upset that it wasn't him, and he moved on. He went to the Islanders and then came to the Canadiens. But he's such a well-respected guy by the players. He's so well-respected around the league. He played 21 seasons in the NHL as a defenseman, was about as tough as they came. I'm sure Rick can vouch for that. Played for the Leafs when he was 18 years old, took on anybody, didn't back down from anyone, and tons of hockey experience. A smart hockey mind, obviously, calm and cool. He's also a cool guy. I think he can relate to the younger players very well. And just after the game one loss, he was still so calm. It's like, yeah, maybe the guys are a little bit nervous, and yeah, we made mistakes. Can't turn over the puck like that. We'll work on it. We'll figure it out, and we'll move forward. So he was thrown into, as I say, he's the last man standing behind the bench. He started the season behind the bench with Claude Julien and Kirk Muller there, and now he's the only one, and Dominic Ducharme, now he's the only one left there. So Luke Richardson, this is a great opportunity for him. He's shown that he's ready to handle everything that is involved with being a head coach in the NHL, and I think it's just a matter of time before he leaves the Canadiens and becomes a head coach somewhere else.
Yeah, I think you guys brought up some really good points about Luke Richardson. Again, I think I mentioned this last week. Throughout a sea of change for this Montreal Canadiens team, he still ends up as a constant behind the bench for this Montreal Canadiens team, which again, in the final against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let us know in the comments section below what you think of Luke Richardson in his time as interim head coach, or as Jess has so eloquently put, acting head coach. I'm surprised not more people have used acting head coach to describe Luke Richardson. Anyway, write us in the comments section below and visit hockeyinsideout.com to check out our full episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel.